Hi, I'm Jerry Ford and welcome to my studio. It's Thursday night, so it's time to get a little mini lesson. So what are we doing tonight? We're going to be making this adorable little Halloween trick-or-treat coin purse. And so look how cute that is. It's made out of minky, flannel, or felt, or a combination thereof. And it's very easy to do with a 5x7 hoop. So before we get started, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can be notified of any future videos. First of all, you're going to need a machine that has at least a 5x7 embroidery field and the file, which is called pumpkin.pes. Remember, it's a free design, so email me at waltzquilt@yahoo.com and I'll be happy to send you the file as well as the written instructions. Okay, you're going to need some tearaway stabilizer. You're going to need, of course, orange minky fabric, or it could also be fleece or felt. It doesn't have to be minky, but I happen to like it. Again, you're also going to need some orange, just scraps. You really don't need much of it. So you need scraps of green and scraps of black, and either that. Now I'm using all three. I have minky, I have fleece, and I have felt right here. So you can use all of those. You're going to need about a 12-inch long piece of black ribbon in order to make a handle. You're going to need at least a 7 or 9-inch polyester coil black zipper. I have really long ones, but I got a really good deal on these, so I have lots of black zippers. So I'm going to use a black zipper. You're going to need some water-soluble stabilizer, and I am using this one. You don't want to use the press-away topping that you can get because you are using fleece and minky, and the heat that it requires to melt the melt-away stabilizer or the topping is it's too hot. You're going to end up melting your fabric. So use a water-soluble topper, which is this one is Solvay by Sulky product, but you can use any of the water solubles. Then the colors of thread you're going to need. You're going to need orange and black and green to match your fabrics. And also you want to use some kind of tape. Either I'm going to be using masking tape, but you can use painter's tape or the Kimberbell tape, any adhesive tape. And that's, oh, and of course embroidery bobbin thread. Okay, so let's go ahead and load up the machine with the design and put the hoop into the machine, and we'll be ready to go. All right, I'm going to go to embroidery. I'm going to load the design, and here is what it looks like right there. So I hit set, and it's now ready to stitch. Black thread in the machine, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to stitch out on embroidery. We're first going to be putting in the zipper. So it's going to do the placement for the zipper first. Now we're going to place the zipper on. Don't use a heavy purse zipper. You want to use a number 2 or a number 3 zipper so that because you're going to be stitching through the coiling. I want this zipper coil to be right in the middle. And it's hard to see it, but well, you know what? I'm going to do this on the table because I can't see it at all. All right, you're going to start zipper right sides facing you, and you want your you want the zipper pull to be on the right hand side. This one's a little bigger. What I did here is I just took my pen to extend out this center line because I'm going to be using the center line. That way, if you have the line, you can see where it is. So I am going to place, and on the back, it's hard to see it because it's black, but you want the center of that zipper right down the middle of that line. Okay, so I'm going to tape it in place outside of the zipper area. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Actually, you can come down the middle here and just check it so that it's going down the middle, exactly down the middle, and place another piece of tape. And just put a little piece of tape here. And I'm just using masking tape. Okay, and then I'll put this on this side just to hold it still. And then if you flip it over like this, you can see the center of the coil and just roll it on and tape it down. Yeah, normally you would want to use black thread to sew this down, but I'm going to use white so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so let's go back to this machine. Let me just double check that. Yeah, it's right in the middle. Okay, let's go to the machine. Okay, now we're going to be tacking down the zipper. I've put white thread. Normally you're going to use black in order to tack down this zipper, but I'd like for you to sort of be able to see it if possible. And if you have a brother or a baby lock machine, I recommend that you keep your finger right by this start-stop button, because if you hold it in, it goes really slow. Okay, so I'm going to hold it in. You can barely see my finger at the top of the screen. Okay, so let's go ahead and see. It's tacking down, and yeah, I know it's in white. And it's tacking it down on either side. It's okay if it runs through the tape. You can always pull that tape off. That's good and stitched down. Okay. So now we can remove the tape. Okay. I put green in the needle. And I'm going to stitch color stop number 3, which is going to give me the placement for the top stem of the pumpkin. And now I just need to cover it with a piece of the green. This is the fleece. Just cover all the stitching and then do color stop number 4, which is your tack down for the stem. Okay, now I'm going to take my little curved scissors, my little embroidery scissors, and I do like the curved ones, and I'm going to remove the excess fabric from around the stitching. And now I'm going to switch to orange thread, and we'll do the placement for the pumpkin. What I'm going to do before I stitch this out, because since I used white thread, I don't want that white thread to show through, so I'm just going to take a marker and just darken it. That way I don't have to worry about it shadowing through, and I don't have to worry about trying to fix it later. Okay, that won't show now. Okay, now the placement for the pumpkin fabric. Alrighty, and now I'm going to repeat, but I'm going to put my Minky fabric on here, and I want just sort of pay attention to which way the nap is going, because I'm going to want to match it on the back. And just place this scrap here and stitch it down. This is going to take a little bit of time, so I'm going to go ahead and stitch the rest of this off camera. Okay, I'm going to let it stitch out, and then I'm going to take the hoop out of the machine, and I'm going to carefully trim around the outside of the stitching and also up inside where this mouth area. I want to take all of that out. Okay, I will be back when I am done stitching this and trimming out the excess fabric. Okay, I've already finished trimming out the excess fabric from around the seam lines. I've still got orange in the machine. I'm going to place this water-soluble topping on the top of here, and I'm going to stitch color stop number 7 to do the details. And the reason that we are putting this on here is because Minky's got a fairly deep nap, and therefore I want the stitching to lay on top of the surface rather than embed itself inside the fibers. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to do the rest of this stitching off camera because this will take a little while. Okay, I also put green into the needle and then stitched around the stem in green. And now that I'm done with this, I'm going to put black into my needle. I'm going to remove this topper. Okay, and now I'm going to stitch the placement for the black pieces of felt, or Minky, or flannel, or fleece, whatever you have. Okay. And this is going to give me the placement for the black. Okay, I placed the black felt over top of the hoop so that it covers all the stitching. You're supposed to use black in the needle, however I'm using orange just so you can see what it's going to do. And I'm going to go ahead and stitch this and probably finish it offline. Even orange, I still am having a hard time seeing this. Okay, I'll finish this off camera, and then after that I'm going to trim all around the excess of the applique pieces. Okay, here it is all stitched out. What I ended up doing was double stitching it because it really dug in. But in black, you wouldn't see that at all. So what I'm going to do is I am going to remove all of this excess stitching, and I will be back. And I'm going to stitch the satin stitch that goes around all of the eyes, nose, and mouth in order to seal in the edges of the fabric. And once again, I will finish stitching this off camera because this is like watching paint dry. Okay, it is finished stitching, so I'm going to pull away all of the water-soluble stabilizer. And if you have any jump stitches, then you want to go ahead and clip them away. And they're usually right here and on this side. Pull out this strip there. I can pull out the others later. I can just, the little detail stuff, I can pull that out later. I don't have to do it right now. And if you've got any little jump stitches, I think there's one right there or one right here, so I want to pull that out. Okay, the other thing you definitely need to do now, because this is the last stitch, I'm going to open the zipper. Okay, you want to make sure that you have your zipper pull in the center of the mouth. And now if you're going to put a ribbon tie, like I'm going to make this a wristlet, so I got a 12-inch long piece of, or larger piece of 1/4-inch ribbon. And I'm going to tape it to the top. So I will first tape this here in the center. Keep it out of the stitching if you can. I want this not to be in the way, so I'll tape that down. And I'm going to tape on the outside of the ribbon, like that. You could also put a little bit of ribbon for a D-ring. See, I have it taped down. Or some kind of fastener, or you don't have to put anything there at all if you don't want to. Okay, I put orange thread in the needle. I want to tighten the tension a little bit on the needle, because this is embroidery, and embroidery needle tension is set so that the needle is a little bit loose, so it'll pull underneath so it won't come migrating to the top when you're doing a satin stitch. But, you know, I want a little bit tighter stitch, so I'm going to go to my tensions, and I'm going to put this up to like 4.2 or 4.4. Depends on your machine. Okay, now I'm going to take my other piece of Minky fabric, and I want to make sure that the nap is going in the same direction, and cover all of the stitching so that it covers all the way around. Get it relatively straight. Okay. And I'm going to stitch the outer edge, and this is the last stitching we do. You have to make sure that zipper is open, and it's doing a bean stitch around the outside, so I will be back when it is done stitching. All right, all finished. Let's pull this forward and just pull the whole thing out. It's all tear away anyway, so we'll just take it out of the hoop. We'll take it over to the table. Now I've got it out, I'm going to trim it 1/4 of an inch all the way around. Remove any tape. It cut right through the zipper. You do not need this to be finished or zigzagged on the outside, because Minky fabric is not going to ravel on you, so it should be fine. So we'll trim this. I also want to clip anytime I've got a corner, so I've got this little clip here. You can take some of this stabilizer out. It makes it for a softer bag. It's not necessary. It's not required, but you can take it out. Let me finish clipping. In order to open it, we have got to put any little stitches here, but this needs to come out. That's where the zipper is. I try to open that zipper the rest of the way, then turn it. Okay, now, and I think I am going to remove, because it's tear away, this is easy to do, just sort of jiggle it around and all of the pieces will release. So it makes it easy to remove. And this is going to make it infinitely easier to turn the bag. You don't have to take every bit of it out, although it does make it neater. Now you can spend hours picking all this stuff out, but it's usually not necessary. So now we just simply turn it. Well, that makes it so much easier to turn when you remove the stabilizer. Okay. Take your point tenor, push out the stem. That helps pull the rest of it out. That worked really well. Okay. That turned out really cute. I love this. Turned out darling. And like if you're, you see that the sides over here where the nap is sewn into the seam, you just take a pin and just, or a seam ripper. It'll be easier with a seam ripper. And just work out, just pull out the nap. Hey, there you have it. Isn't that cute? Turned out really darling. And yes, I could have done a better job of holding that still, but I shifted a little bit. But that's okay, just adds to the charm of it. This is ready to use. It's really cute. You can keep your coins or your ID or something, and it makes a cute little Halloween bag for your favorite trick-or-treater. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little project. If you'd like a copy of the PES design and the written instructions, just send an email request to me at waltzquilt@yahoo.com. And until next week, I'll see you later. Bye.